We are joined now by some special guests by the Foster County Soil Conservation District, Dion Schaaf. She is the district manager for the Soil Conservation District, and Kurt Klein, also the chairman and Soil Conservation District Board of Supervisors. Good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
And got a little wet on the way in.
Yeah, I'll take wet over what they're predicting for Friday morning.
Yeah, it's some white stuff coming Friday. I don't know. That doesn't sound too much fun right now. Anyway, it's too early for that. But.
It's not supposed to be here yet. No.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, Dion, let's kick things off with you. Of course, the big story right now: government shutdown, and you think it wouldn't affect us locally, but it is. So talk about that, how it's affecting us right now.
Well, first of all, Brandon Kotke, our DC for the NRCS in Foster County, asked me to pass on his apology for any inconvenience this is causing folks. Of course, he has no control over this, and he is, of course, the office is closed up until the shutdown is over. And this affects the Soil Conservation District because although we are not federal, our office is in the federal building, so when the doors got shut, we are locked out. So Katie Gushis, our watershed coordinator, and I are both working from home right now. So the district is still working, it just doesn't have an office. I'm working off my kitchen counter, and I'm sure she's doing the same. So if you need to contact us, we have Gmail accounts. I think Katie's is katyg.fosterscd@gmail.com, and mine is dion.fosterscd@gmail.com. And I guess until they get us back in the office, you can reach me at home. The number is 652-1968. And hopefully I brought home files, and hopefully I brought everything I will need until this is over. If there's something anyone needs to contact us for, we will do our best to help them out.
All right. Well, sounds good. Hopefully, I think, like you said, it could be tomorrow. It could be 3 weeks. Nobody knows.
We do not know. It all depends on Congress.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Well, hopefully things get figured out soon. Dion, let's kick things off with you this morning. We're going to talk a little backyard conservation this morning.
Yes, we are going to do backyard conservation again this year. Healthy Communities is helping us out by providing a meeting room at the Carrington Health Center West, which I believe is what they used to call Holy Family Villa. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be October 17th at 7 p.m. That's a Thursday, I believe. And I'll be talking about the square foot gardening, which is basically a way of fitting more garden into less space. And Joel Lemur is going to be talking about prepping your yard for winter, your lawn and your garden. And Jerry McKay is going to be talking about trees. I'm not sure exactly what she wants to talk about, but she is with the North Dakota Forest Service. She always has very good information. So we're going to be talking both about, this fall and next spring, so there might be something useful. If anybody's interested, please come, October 17th.
Okay. How do you sign up for that?
And I just mentioned that backyard conservation. I think one of the people they're gonna stop and tour. It's a couple there by the overpass. And
I'm not sure if we're going to tour, because at 7 p.m. it's probably getting too late.
Okay. But I wanted to mention that couple. They're doing that raised garden concept, and it's quite huge. I think they have 13 little plots, and they're like 3 feet wide and 16 feet long and 10 inches deep, and they're getting compost and getting that all filled in, and it's going to be quite a unique little thing, and it's close by off the road. You can stop in. They love visitors, and it's not all done yet. They're getting some compost from me, so... and he shovels it off his pickup by hand, so it might take a while to fill all them 13 little plots.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's quite the setup they're getting.
All right, and then Tree Assistance Program also for 2014 coming up.
Yes, this is a program through North Dakota Forest Service for folks that can't get financial assistance through other programs. It covers up to 75% or $1,500 of the cost of tree planting. That can include fabric, tree tubes, that kind of thing. But the deadline is October 31st, and you have to have a tree plan that meets specs that goes in with that application. So if anybody's interested, they need to get hold of me. We need to get a tree plan put together so you can get that application in.
Okay. And then let's see, local work group meeting coming up Monday, November 5th.
Yes. If you're not familiar with it, the local work group is the group of people that determines the official top 5 resource concerns for Foster County for the coming year. And this is important because those are used for ranking criteria for applications for federal programs like EQIP. So this is something we're going to send out invitations to representatives of local organizations like the township boards and things like that. But the public is invited to come and give input. So just so you know, that's going to be Monday morning on November 5th. Are we going with 8:30? I think we're going with 8:30. Okay. So
all right, sounds good.
That's, again, open to the public. Those are the 3 main upcoming deadlines I wanted to talk about, but the other one is Casseron application. The district does do Casseron application. That's a granular herbicide that in the spring it gases off and suppresses the weeds before the trees come out of dormancy. So that has to be applied this fall, sometime after the temperatures are reliably going to stay below 50 degrees. So that's going to be late October or more likely in November, but I do need to know who needs this done. So if you're interested in having this done, like I said, it's weed suppression for the tree rows. Give me a call and make sure I know what you need done so I get you on the list and get the Casseron purchased.
Okay. All right. And then, Kurt, did you want to talk about the fabric care this morning for weed barriers and all that stuff? Dion wants to talk about it.
He's pointing at me, but as long as we were on the subject of chemical, there was one other I wanted to mention before we get to the fabric care. We do provide the plant skid. It's an organic repellent for the deer and rabbits and whatnot. And a lot of people in the fall get the spray to spray on the trees. It's supposed to be good for up to 6 months in the winter to prevent the deer foraging on your trees. But the supplier gave me a hint a couple weeks ago of something else. They said that rather than making it into a spray to prevent buck rub, the better thing for buck rub is to make a 2-to-1 paste out of the powder and put it on the trunks. So it's stronger that way, and they said that works better for the buck rub. I have one person who's trying it out. I asked him to please let me know how it's working. So if anybody else is interested in giving this a try, again, contact me. I did snitch some out of the office, so I have some available. Made sure I brought at least a little home with me. Yeah. So if anybody's interested, please contact me, and we'll, it's worth a try. See if this works. So that's the plant skid, and then on with the fabric care. Just wanted to talk about some things that people need to get done this fall. The weed barrier fabric, it's a really good low maintenance method of weed control on your tree rows, but you do need to check it every few years and open those holes up, because if the hole starts getting tight around the tree root, the tree trunk, it can start rubbing or even girdling. So you need to get in there. They recommend putting a box cutter on the end of the stick so you can reach under there and open those holes a little wider. And the other thing is, if you're mowing around it, you want to get out there with something and clear that debris off the fabric, because that provides a substrate, and you can wind up with your weeds actually rooting on top of the fabric because they've got dirt and debris on there to root on. Okay. So that's another thing folks probably want to do here in the fall, whenever they've got the time to look at it. Just some maintenance work.
Yeah, that tree fabric works pretty slick though. I mean, it keeps the weeds trees pretty clean.
Yeah, it does a really good job, but it's not completely no maintenance. Yeah. There is some work still involved.
Okay, all right. And then also, I want to talk a little bit about the apple trees. Get some apple trees, maybe.
We do. In the fall, of course, this is the best time to order your conservation trees, because that's when the nurseries have the best selection. But we do also have the ability to order in a few fruit trees, and those are not conservation grade. Those are going to be bigger trees. They're still going to be bare root, and it's going to depend, because we have to get these from commercial nurseries, on what is available. But if anybody's interested in fruit trees, we usually manage to get in at least some apple trees every year. People have to let me know what they're interested in, and I can try and get them. But the sooner you do that, the apple trees are even more urgent than the conservation grade trees, that you get to me as soon as possible, because again, the selection goes down very quickly in the fall.
Okay. And how do we get a hold of you again?
My home number is 652-1968 until this shutdown is over, and then hopefully we'll be back in the office very soon. And the phone number there is 652-2551, and we're at extension 3.
Okay. Kurt, anything else you'd like to talk about this morning?
No, except we're still going to have our board meeting
On
Monday.
On
and
Monday.
It won't be at the government offices. We're going to get a office meeting at the courthouse, and so we still have a board meeting on Monday. And another thing, I was just going to throw in a little joke on Brandon. You know, he's not unemployed right now, but he does do landscaping.
Oh, nice.
And I have a landscaping project. So, Brandon, if you're listening, I could sure use you for a day. My wife would really appreciate it.
Yeah, you got to get it in before Friday, though. You know, you'll probably start after Friday because it's going to be snowy on Friday. But
that's true. Well, October is the best month of the year, so it'll always get nice in October. So
Yeah.
you got to think positive there.
yeah.
So, actually, that is the other thing for folks that are thinking about planting trees next spring. It's not only the tree order. We have to get your tree plan together and get your site prepped this fall, if at all possible. It works much better if you start prep in the fall. So again, if you're interested in planting or just in ordering trees, and remember that even if you don't want us to do the work, we can provide technical assistance. Technical assistance is always free of charge.
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good.
I'll just throw a little bit quick in on if you like Juneberries. You can plant a Juneberry in like next spring, and the following spring it will produce fruit already.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really
Wow.
quick, and if you love Juneberries, that's something that you could plant right in your yard. So.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds good. We got to go, you guys. Thanks so much for stopping in. Dion, did you want to get something else in there real quick?
Just again, reminder, backyard conservation is on October 17th. Deadline for tree assistance programs, October 31st, and local work group meeting is Monday, November 5th.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks so much, you guys. That was Dion Schaff joining us this morning, District Manager for the Soil Conservation District, and Kurt Klein, Chairman and Soil Conservation District Board of Supervisors. Let's join the Sports Network already in progress.
Signed him in the off season for moments like what we had this past weekend, and we were all hoping he'd play well, and he did.
And Frazier says he isn't concerned about fans being mad if he starts Ponder against Carolina in